Hello guys, I'm with a new band, but with old face. I'm not talking about you, Matt, but I know Lord for when he
Oh,
used
awesome.
to sing in Stuck
Duck
Mojo.
Mojo.
Yeah.
Duck Mojo. Indeed. Indeed.
Yeah. Before we are talking about this new project
hmm
called Plastic Catastrophe.
Yes, indeed.
Uh, what about your short time in Stuck Mojo?
Uh-huh.
Something like 2 years, right? 2 or 3 years.
Actually, yeah, it was about 3 years or so. Yeah, yeah. Two albums, two studio albums. Uh, of course, Southern Born Killers, which introduced me to the masses, which was a beautiful thing. And then we did the Great Revival, which was more of a concept type album. But hey, I love both of those albums. I love the work that we did. Rich is amazing. Uh, Once again, let me tell you something. I've been lucky and blessed to get to work with great musicians. Matt is another one. He's definitely another one, just like Sebastian was and Rich was, and my boy Steve, who was our tour manager. Well, not with our tour manager, our sound guy was Stuck Mojo. I've worked
Okay.
with some great guys, and I'm just thankful. But Stuck Mojo was a great experience. I know you through Stuck Mojo.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Stuck Mojo introduced me to the world, and I can only be thankful. I'm definitely thankful for Rich and Bones and all the guys, Mike and Sean and LSU and Corey, all of them. Just it's all love with me. It's all love, man.
Why did you quit at the time?
Well, after we did a tour with Volbeat, which was amazing. Every show was sold out, which was amazing. And then playing to a Volbeat crowd. But after that third song, they were on Stuck Mojo. They were loving us. They really were. They were loving us. So every show was sold out. But after that, I just think Rich moved more towards Fozzy, in my opinion. So he got with Chris. They worked on another project, and they just started doing Fozzy, and that just seemed to be better for him. And so I'm not upset about it. I was a little disappointed because I wanted us to do our thing more, but it's all love, man. I'm easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. I'm good to go. No
Are you,
worries.
are you still in touch with Rich?
I text them from time to time. We still keep in touch. We don't talk as much as we used to because they're doing the Fozzy stuff, and then of course with Robbie Fonts, they had the new lead singer for Stuck Mojo. I'm cool with everybody. I don't have issues with anybody. I'm not that guy. I don't have time. So I'm still doing music. Matt's here. How can I be upset with anything? Life is good for me. Life is great. Life is great.
So just before this new cooperation with Matt,
Mm-hmm.
um, you sang with a French band. Wow,
Oh man.
French
Yeah.
lies.
Lies. Now,
So yeah,
go ahead.
is it finished or what about
Well,
this cooperation?
well, let me say that it was difficult them being in France, and then all this COVID stuff also. But Sebastian and I will always have like a brother relationship. I love him. Sebastian is one of the. Once again, I have Rich, I have Matt, I have Sebastian. Sebastian, unbelievable musician. We did so much together. I miss him, and we had a ball together. And it just Matt sent me some music during our period after we of course we did two albums also, back on the road, and then of course fight. My struggle between heaven and hell, lies. I mean, Lord doesn't feature in lies. So we just had a great time, man. Sebastian and the guys, man. France was unbelievable. I honestly, when I was over there, when we did a little tour, and Sebastian took me around, and we were up in the not in the mountains, but kind of like in the hills of where he stays, like
Mhm.
somewhere around Lyon. I was just like, man, I might not go back home. It was beautiful. If my wife could fly and do things like that, I mean, I really thought about like, man, I might want to purchase something over here in France. So it was amazing. Had a great time with Sebastian. Lies beautiful, and who knows? But I'll say this: I did reach out to Sebastian, and I let Matt know. I said, Sebastian, if we come over, we might need another guitar player. And Sebastian was like, I've got you. No problem.
Right
So,
on.
beautiful thing. Yeah, yeah.
So now there is Matt with you. What about your collaboration? How do you know Matt?
Matt, go ahead. I'm gonna let Matt take this one. Go ahead.
Yeah, Matt, please.
Yeah, it's an interesting story for sure, Joe. I, like a lot of people, was just a MOJO fan, you know. So I'd been following him from Bones, and then I started following him with Lloyd as well, and I really dug that stuff. And I just happened to find him on Facebook one day. You know, sent him a friend request just out of nowhere. He accepted it, and we became just casual Facebook friends. You know what I mean? I was following what he was doing with Seb and all those guys, and at the time I was working with another project called Virtual Chaos with a friend of mine up in New York. And I was kind of promoting his stuff, and he was cool enough to promote mine. And I was just sitting on some music that, I've got a little studio here, a little humble studio where I do a lot of stuff myself. And I just had some music sitting that I could just hear him singing over, I could just hear him doing it. So, with a little push from my wife, I just sent him a direct message, and I went, hey man, I've got a track sitting around. Would you be interested in doing something with it? And he was like, yeah, send it over. Let's see what happens. And that was the first track. That was Action. And, it was 6 months of nothing but pure organic. You didn't have to work at any of it. You know what I mean? I would come up with some music. I'd shoot it over to him with it was the same stipulation. Hey, if you like it, great. If you don't, all you got to do is let me know. We'll move on. And everything just clicked and worked. And like I said, 6 months later, we had a whole album together. So it's pretty wild.
Amazing.
So it was you made this band something like a year ago, right?
Less than a year.
Yeah, it was. I sent him the first track at the end of December.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, like I said, the first track we got finished probably right around the first of the year, right around January, and put that out and got a really good reception on it, and just decided to keep working. And like I said, I say work, but it's not work. You know what I mean? Everything is. It just
great.
went so smooth, and we just kind of vibe off each other, and we dig the same things, and it just worked out. And I think it's really cool. I'm really proud of it.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
So what about the music in itself? It's pretty, maybe influenced by Stock Mojo, but not only, it's maybe more fusion, right?
Yeah. My style, I guess you'd call it, is eclectic to say the least. Being here in Texas is where I am. I have a lot of mixes of blues, and I was into Pantera, I was into Stevie Ray Vaughan, I was into all kinds of things. So my style is eclectic at the very least. I also come from kind of a classical music background, so that gets influence in it a little bit too. It's just kind of whatever flows,
It's a melting pot.
Yeah, I think that's why we click so well, because I love so many different things also, and you can just hear it in the influence, and just getting the feedback from this album so far has been amazing. How many people and other people that are in bands that I've toured with and things like that, and just a lot of the family around the world, they've just been giving so much love to us, and so I'm just thankful, and I can't say enough. Matt is a great dude. He's a great producer. He's just a great human being, and I'm totally blessed to be there. I am, to do this album. I am.
Right back at you, man.
I am, seriously. I really am.
So was it easy to find the title and this name, Plastic Catastrophe?
Mm-hmm.
Who did find?
That's all Matt. I just said, like, hey, I like that name.
Lloyd was like, call it whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm vibing. I was like, that's cool. I said, just to add so the fans will know. Just add the Lord Nelson to it. We could have just done Plastic Catastrophe, but I wanted to make sure that the fans knew who they were getting and what they were getting. And so that's why we worked it out. I mean, I really had no problem with just Plastic Catastrophe, but I wanted everybody to know that this was us, And so I just added the Lord Nelson to it. And so we're good. Matt was cool with that, and we just rolled on. It's love. It's love.
Yeah.
So yeah, what about this name? It's pretty ecological, or
I can't tell you where it came from, to be completely honest with you. I woke up one morning and I went to my wife and I went, "Hey, what do you think of the name Plastic Catastrophe?" And she said, "Where did that come from?" And I said, I have no idea. And she said, "That sounds cool." And I went, "I thought so too."
Yeah.
But it just came out of nowhere, to be completely honest with you. I couldn't tell you.
so is it in the DNA of this band to? Yeah, of course we are in a catastrophe, and of course the. Do you know what have you heard about the plastic continent on the west coast?
I have, yeah.
It's a fucking horrible.
Yeah. So I mean, it has some real meaning, yeah, for sure.
And yeah, what about the lyrics? What are the topics, Lord?
That's all, Lord.
I just always let the music drive me. The music leads me. And so every time that he said something, I immediately, or every song that we've done, I immediately just jumped on it. How I go about my process, I just start kind of like humming in my head, because I'm about melodies. So once I hear this, it's on. And then so I was just on it. I was just writing. I was just like, man, I love this. I love this. I love this. And then it was just, I just couldn't stop. And so the music drives me. It leads me to whatever I'm going to do. Is I start freestyling to the song, and I just come up with the ideas, really quickly. And so I'm like, okay, here's what we're doing. I like this. And then, of course, I run it by Matt, and if he's cool with it, we're good. And the process was just effortless, to be honest with you. And once again, the music drives me. It leads me. The music's great. I feel I can be great on the music.
And about the recording process, so you worked because you're quite
Right.
So what?
Go ahead,
So did you record on your side?
I recorded here, and then I sent it to Matt, and Matt did his thing. I recorded everything flat, no effects or anything on it like that, and I just wanted him to do what he was going to do, and he did a magnificent job. To be honest with you, I've had many people say to me that this is probably my best work, and that's no disrespect to anybody else that I've worked with, because I think that every project that I'm on has been great. Every single one, from Stuck Mojo to Lord Nelson with Lies, Lord and Sebel, No Power, No Crown, and of course Plastic Catastrophe with Lord Nelson. Every project has been amazing. And Matt did all the, listen, Matt's a genius over there. I call him the magnificent, Matt, it's all beautiful. It's all beautiful.
So yeah, this name, the Fire Starters, is like a kind of image, or what's behind
yeah,
it?
and I guess that once again, that song brought me to that point, the Fire Starters. I was just like, Matt's bringing that heat. I've got to bring that heat. To me, I was like, the song is fire. And so I just went with that theme. And so a lot of the songs like Heat Seekers and things like that, I guess we're just in the writing, certain things I wanted to hit people to just kind of wake people up a little bit. Not trying to be all super political or anything like that. Just want people to really vibe with us and know that we have something special. And every project I do, I think is special because I'm on it. It's not arrogance; it's just confidence. It's just I'm just confident of who I am, and I'm confident of what Matt has brought to the table also. And so putting those together is cool. But I just thought that this project was fire. And so the themes just seem to go on that and just speaking on things. So yeah, this project is fire. The fire starters, and we're bringing that heat. That's what we're
That's
doing.
it.
And what about the news in the USA? Because in France, it's deadly, and a lot of firms, a lot of venues are closing the doors and forever. You know, it's very sad and very unique situation in the world. You know,
In the world, 100%. I spoke with Daniel. Do you remember Daniel? That was at He was our tour
Daniel.
manager also. Yeah, Daniel Mente. So, Daniel, I just spoke with Daniel a couple of days ago, and I was asking him about shows and things like that because I said if we come over, I'd like him to be our tour manager. And he was telling me how bad it is there, even in Germany, just throughout Europe, how fans are kind of scared of spending their money because the show might be canceled. And so he said that, a lot of the smaller venues have closed also, just like you were speaking of, Joe. And so he said it's a difficult thing. So I've spoken with Jorg, who's a promoter, and a few other people. And we're just hoping that things get back to, kind of the norm so we can get out there and, see the people and present this product to them. We know that we have something great, but until we're able to do that, we'll do, it online, and just hopefully the people will continue to gravitate toward it like they're doing, because they really are. People are really enjoying this album, and so hopefully they'll continue to gravitate to it, and we'll be able to get back out there, as soon as possible. But everybody should stay as safe as possible, and I know a lot of people are hurting, in the music industry, not being able to tour because this is what we do. It's what they do. So, I really feel for them, but you got to keep rolling, got to keep staying positive, and let's do what we do. It's all love, man.
Matt, are you okay with the dog?
Sorry about that. Yeah, they came charging out of my backyard. Sorry.
Wow. I always knew that Texas is a very dangerous place.
Yeah, it sounded horrific, didn't it? I do have two big dogs. My goodness, that was something.
On your side, Matt,
Yes.
with the situation, are you able
Yeah.
to produce and to?
It's the same. You just kind of what Lord was saying. It is the same. It's tough everywhere you go. It's hard for musicians at all right now, whether they're trying to do something live or something like that. I mean, it's definitely a tough time. Here, I can tell you, people are getting as creative as they can with drive up concerts and things like that, where you're literally staying in your car in front of a stage and that kind of thing. So whatever you can do to keep your art going. I know it's tough. We, Lord and I both have a lot of musician friends, people who this is their livelihood, and this is how they pay their bills, and it's a tough time, no question. It's a tough time.
Joe, let me say this also. I apologize. And then, of course, because speaking about the pandemic, of course, we have the song "Pandemic" on the album.
Yeah, right.
Right, which Matt brought to me. He sent to me. He was just like, "Hey, check this out." And so I was just like, "Wow!" I was like, "Can I be a part of this song?" And he was like, I was just like, "This song is amazing." And then he was like, "Yes, I left some space in there for you to do your thing." And I was like, thank you, God. I appreciate it. And so it's a great song speaking on what's going on, and I just think it was just clear it was something that needed to be done, because this has affected everybody in the world. Everybody. It's amazing. I mean, everybody in the world is affected by this in some way or another. And I don't know. I hope Matt doesn't mind me speaking of it. We both lost family members to this. My sister in Boston, her husband passed, and Matt, was it your uncle?
My uncle, my godfather. Yeah.
Right. So we've known people, and I've known people who have had it. So I do my best, as I say in the song. I comply. Whether people, so many conspiracy theories about this and that and that. Man, I'm going to wear my mask, and I'm in the house right now, and I'll be here as much as I have to be. Yeah, I'm just trying to be safe as possible.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
What about the future of this band? Will you try to play live?
Yeah, we're hoping to really do that if we can get things back to a little bit more normal. I've actually asked. Well, I've been approached by a few other people who would like to play with us, and I'm sure Matt has his folks also. Because
Yeah.
once they're hearing this project and this product, they're like, yes, we'd like to be. So you got to understand something now. Matt's doing all the music. That guy right there, that's the dude. Oh, Matt is unbelievable, really. I mean, so yes, we would love to get out there and play live. I always enjoy live. Live is always fantastic. I like to interact with the fans. When we're in the smaller venues, it's always great. I always say that if you play in a small club and there's nobody there, it's a shitty club. It's just a shitty time. But I'm still going to give my all, to it. I'm going to give my very best. But when you play in a small venue and it's packed out, that's better than a super festival because you're right there and it's so intimate with the people. And it's
Right
like
on.
you can touch them and oh man, it's just great. So yeah, I look forward to it. I can't wait to get on that stage with Matt and do work.
For
Most
sure.
And I have to say, guys, don't be afraid of Lord on stage because he's so massive,
He's a big dude. Got to give him space, man.
Hey, man, Joe, once again, when I get on stage, the music drives me.
Yeah.
Like I really go into the Lord Nelson persona, and
All bets are off.
it's nothing fake. But when the music is on, I'm in another world. It's like the best thing in the world to be on that stage and vibe with people and have people know your lyrics and singing songs with you. It's fantastic. And then listen, and France is a great place. I can't say it enough. I love France. France was really good for me. Really good vibe. Really good.
You're
vibe.
always welcome.
Yeah, thank you. France is fantastic.
So, who will be the musicians live?
Yeah, that's what's kind of in question right now. He's Lord's got some people up his way that we're talking to. I've got some people my way we're talking to. I guess it just kind of depends on when live stuff actually comes to fruition, and who's available at the time. But we've definitely been talking to some heavy hitters, so we got the bases covered when the time comes for sure.
Yes,
I know a little guitar player who's called Rich, and yeah, could do a good job.
Hey, man.
Listen,
Rich wants to get on stage. I'll be happy to share a stage with Rich.
listen.
Yeah.
The Duke and Mike and Steve and Sebastian. Listen, there's a lot of we
Yeah.
have not saying that they're free because what Matt spoke to availability. Now, of
Right.
course, Rich might big time us now. I might have to call Chris or text Chris and say, like, Chris, won't you think Rich could be free for a moment? We need him to play rhythm to Matt.
Oh yeah. That doesn't sound like a good idea.
I'm just saying it's our project. The Duke is cool. The Duke is cool. Rich is love, man. He's talented on many levels. Like,
And
you
you could text, yeah, let's wrestle, Chris. Right?
Hey, look, it adds to the show. And listen, that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
You could be a very good wrestler, right?
No.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Let me say this. I spoke with Chris. I'm going to see a few of the shows, and we've talked about it. And I just looked at the guys, some of the other wrestlers, and I was just like, wow. I was like, Chris. And he was just like, yeah. I was just like, The Undertaker is gigantic. I mean, he doesn't wrestle anymore. I was just like, my goodness. I'm 6'5". I'm a big guy. But I was like, wow. These are some gigantic individuals. I mean, these are like, they're monsters. They're different. They really are. And so, no, I'm not trying to listen, I wouldn't say I'd get in there and have fun. But, no, that's not for me. Those guys.
I'll watch you from the front row.
Hey, look. Hey, those guys are truly athletes beyond what people notice.
Oh, yeah, no question.
Yes, it's a great show, but they are athletes. They really are. They really are. So Chris and all of them, big up, magnificent. I'll leave it to them.
All
now,
right.
if he wants me to come in the ring and hit somebody with a chair, I'll do that.
Lord, the new Undertaker. All right. Thank you guys for this precious time and our interview. Really great.
Thank you
so much for having us, man. We appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Yeah,
And,
and let me say this. You've given me something to wear. This is something that we probably need to look into more also, so we can get out there and talk to the fans. And this is great, man. This is awesome. We appreciate your platform, and thank you so very much, Joe. I really appreciate it.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Showing love, even though we push it.